one more time in action during this third and last day of this World Cup. We start today with the last team pursuit of this season for both women and men, followed by the shortest distance that's skated in the international circuit, the 500 meters. After a short ice resurface, we will have the mass start finals, which you also see here on the screen, followed by the last action of today, the mixed team relay. And that will be all for this third day, the Sunday 14th of December 2025. The last international race of this year. As we'll then continue to the fifth and last ice speed skating World Cup that will be held in January, just before the Olympic Games that we'll be having in February 2026. So we already saw some exciting races on Friday and Saturday with again a lot of track records here in the Hamar Olympic Hall. It was of course Jordan Stolz setting new track records on the 500,000 and 1500 meters already, just as he did last weekend in Tialf Heerenveen. It was Femke Kok that set a new track record on the 500 meter on Friday, just like Matede Gilek on the 5000 meter, as he also did already in Heerenveen, beating the old track record from Sven Kramer out of 2009 in this Olympic Hall. So it will again be an exciting day today as we see Stolz again in action on the 500 meter. But we know that Femke Kok won't be attending the 500 meter for the women, so it is gold for grabs. That will also be the big question, who can get that gold on the 500 meter for the women. But first we'll have the team pursuit for both women and men, as we'll start that shortly. So stay tuned to shortly start with that team pursuit.
Morning.
Morgen.
So here are the ice conditions for the beginning of this team pursuit for the men. The women, I have to say, of course, this is the World Cup standings. Belgium leading the women's team pursuit standings, but closely followed by Japan, Canada, Poland and the Netherlands. And it was Switzerland. Top 6 teams close together, so it will be a tight race today to grab the final points in order to qualify for the Olympic Games quota. Here we have the starting list. Norway against China in the first pair. Germany against Kazakhstan in the second pair. Third pair will be United States against Canada. And in the fourth and last pair we will see the Netherlands against Japan. The Netherlands, of course, the world champions from 2025. Here we go, it is Team China. Yang Li and Han will be starting for the Chinese team. They will be skating against Team Norway in the first pair. That is Wiklund and Fournet. The Chinese 11th in the current World Cup standings against Team Norway. 10th place at the moment. Team Norway skating
Ready.
at home. Maybe that will give some extra strength during these 6 laps that the 3 skaters will be skating. So, a little bit of context for this discipline. 6 laps for each team. And the time is taken when the skate of the third skater crosses the line. So they all need to stay together, and this is also the technique that we see often used nowadays. So it used to be that they changed every lap, every 1.5 laps, in order to fatigue each skater. Similar, but now we see a lot of pushing. So one skater that will skate all 6 laps in front, and the other skaters helping that leading skater by pushing them on the back. It is really important to stay within the same push of the skater in front of them, as they are very close together, as you can see great in this shot of the Chinese team. So Team Norway just behind on Team China. Team China now in the lead. Norway 1:15 seconds behind. China extends the lead over Team Norway. Have to put a time on the board, of course, for the other team. So we have to see what the times were. The 1:45.30. Give me the time. So we saw the leaders of the standings of the World Cup circuit. Belgium in the morning already in the B group. So we have 2 laps to go for Team Norway and China. We saw Belgium already in the morning group, as well as Poland and Switzerland. So the teams that we are seeing here may be gaining a few more points than Team Belgium. It will definitely be a new leader today, as Japan and Canada were almost on the same amount of points. Here we hear the bell above the last lap for Team China to 29.93. But a faster lap there from Team Norway. Can they close that gap towards Team China in the last full lap? Of course, with strong skater Wiklund in Team Norway. Again, faster half lap time for Team Norway, but would it be enough? We'll see here on the finish, as it is the finish for Team China. It wins this race in 3:00.75, and Team Norway 45 hundredths of a second behind in 3:01.20. So those are the 2 first times on the scoreboard. A very structured race there from Team China. The head coach Theo Bos. It's a great race by Team China. Very disciplined race. Followed by the Norwegians just behind them. Those are the 2 first teams. So we then move on to pair number 2. This Team Kazakhstan, Morozova, Ilikshenko and Golbeva. Those are the starting skaters for Team Kazakhstan. We're starting from the crossing, so we then move on to Team Germany, Skolitz, Scherp and Jast. So they will be starting from the straight. They will be competing against together, of course, but also try to beat that time of Team China. 3:00.75. That's the time to beat for these teams.
Ready.
That's the start. Team Germany against Team Kazakhstan. So German women didn't see them quite a lot in the last couple of years, but now they are rebuilding that team. And we see them more often on the longest distances. Also make a great team pursuit. Team, very clean technique, very structured as we see here. First full lap it is. Team Kazakhstan leading to 379, just behind on the Chinese team. You saw the numbers in red, but still a long way to go to close that gap there. Kazakhstan team training a lot together. Not a big group of women for the overall Kazakhstan team, but they know each other quite well. Train a lot together. That is of course always helpful for this team pursuit. Kazakhstan using a tiny bit of time on the Chinese team. 6/10 now behind. There is some room in the last couple of laps there for Team China. Germany already 2 seconds behind now. We know from them that they have a very constant pace. See the 14.7 and 14.81, the lap times. The half lap times, I have to say, of course, for both teams. To go towards the last 2 laps. Still very consistent, but almost a second behind on Team China. For Team Kazakhstan. Let's see if they push a bit more in those last 3 laps. 15.01, that will be very hard then to continue to Team China. Still in the 52 and the 15.5 final laps, final half laps from them. And we have the 15.2, 1.2 seconds behind. It looks a bit too much to really close the gap to Team China, or can they set up? Can they find some extra pace? 15.4 for Team Kazakhstan, 15.15 for Team Germany, and that's some extra speed there for Team Germany. Very consistent as we go towards the finish for the 2 teams. It is the win for Team Kazakhstan, but the finish behind Team China, Team Norway, and also Germany. With a great last 1.5 laps. They just miss out 2.12 seconds behind as they find themselves now in 4th place. So that leaves the Chinese team leading in the time of 3:00.71. That will be the time to beat for the 4 remaining teams. You see the pushing there from that leading skater. So we also see the aerodynamic helmets nowadays more often within each team. So we then move on to pair number 3. Bronze medal winners on last year's World Championships, and they go up against the United States, Bo Manganiello and Bergland. So they will be starting their 6 laps.
Go to start. Ready.
That's the start of this 3rd pair. It is the United States against Canada. Great performance from Canada the last couple of years on this team pursuit. 3 girls know each other so well, train a lot together and have that deadly pace. Can they show it today as well? But it is the United States that go into this 6 laps quite fast, 5/10 faster than Team China at the moment. Canada just behind on the time of Team China. 13:81, same half lap times for both teams. You know, from the Canadian women, they can keep the pace until the end. There we see another half lap from Canada, 13:81, and this US now in the 14:00. Canada gaining a little bit on the United States. Both teams already faster than Team China. Let's see if the US can keep it together. 3 laps to go. We're halfway there. Canada again 1/10 of a second faster. Let's see Bourdin on the end there. Just to let the push go a little bit, but rejoins as it is again. Canada a bit faster than the United States. Teams getting closer together within each lap. Let's move towards the final 2 laps. Canada again gaining another 1/10 of a second. Only half a second behind on the United States now. The United States holding it together still. See a great performance here on the ice of the Hamar Olympic Arena. Canada again a 1/10 of a second faster as they gain some time every lap. Still the United States leading over Canada. Now the times are very close. Still 3/10 of a second to gain for Team Canada. And then there on the back, trying to keep with the pack. Almost the same lap times. What a great last few half laps here of Team Canada. United States now losing out. But here they come towards the finish. Pushing towards the finish. It is a very close finish here. And it is, in the end, Team Canada. It finishes just in front of the United States. And both way faster compared to the Chinese team that hold the lead before this race. 2:57.23. Here we see the finish again. It is the skate of that third skater. It is important. There on the top, just finishing in front of the third skater of the United States. What a great endurance we see here from the Canadian team. Just gaining 1 to 2/10 of a second each half lap on the United States. They have that very strong beginning, as they always show. They just miss out on the fastest time at the moment. But we still have 2 teams left. So we'll see the final pair number 4. This women's team pursuit. On the crossing, it is Team Japan, Takagi, Kikuchi, and Sado. They will be competing against the world champions, the reigning world champions, Rijpma de Jong, Talsma, and Groenewoud. So they are missing Joy Beune. It was present during the world title win last year. She's not the only Dutch women missing this weekend. So a lot of skaters already left Hamar to train a bit more before that very strict Olympic qualifying event the Dutch have during the Christmas holidays. As those will determine who will go to the Olympic Games. So a bit different of a combination here on the ice for Team Netherlands, as they will go against Japan. Takagi, of course, already a great weekend for her with 2 wins, both the 1000 and 1500 meters. She will be feeling well after those wins early this week. Oh, and a fall there from the world champions from Team the Netherlands. And that's very unfortunate. It looks to be Kim Talsma If it falls, that means it will have a disqualification for Team Netherlands. So let's see how Team Japan is going, as we have one team left in this final pair. Can they beat the Canadians? They were 1/10 of a second up. Here it is already 4/10 of a second with 4 laps to go. And we did know from Team Canada, not much room left in those laps. They skated a very stable and steady 6 laps, 14-4 for Team Japan, losing out quite a bit on Team Canada there, as Team Canada were skating around 14-0-42. See already 14-5 from Japan. It will be very hard for them to beat that time of Team Canada. Here the bondscoach of Team Netherlands discussing what happened there. So we have to see the replay of that fall. Of a clear image. What went wrong for Team Netherlands, but it is Team Japan still going. 2 laps to go. 14:56. Half lap time, 1.5 seconds behind on Team Canada. That looks a bit too far to reach. Then have a look at the time, of course, from Team United States and Team China. China now in third with a 3:00.71 as they came through this intermediate time, 2:29.93 against a 2:29.22. It looks to be Japan that can take that bronze medal from Team China. Let's see if they can get them 40.66 faster than Team China during those last couple of laps. So we will see the finish here from Team Japan, and this is indeed a 3rd place, a bronze medal for Team Japan and a win for Team Canada. With a very steady race from them. Great pace. Overall 6 laps. And it will be Team the Netherlands that will be finishing. Or as they're stopping now, probably with a did not finish because of that fall from Tim Talsma. These are your winners. It is the trio Weideman, Malte and Blondin. So see the replay right here. Let's see what went wrong there for Team Netherlands. It looked like Kim Talsma on that second position just touches a skate against the back maybe of Rijpan de Jong there. Still watching to see if no one is hurt. Well, Team Japan, of course, continuing with the race, taking that bronze medal behind Canada and the United States. So we have the final results right here. It is Team Canada winning this women's team pursuit. The last one before we will have the Olympic Games in February. United States in 2nd and Team Japan in 3rd. China, Norway, Kazakhstan and Germany make up the top 7, and Team Netherlands did not finish because of that fall that we saw earlier. So then move on to the Women's World Cup standings for the team pursuit. It is Team Canada taking over the lead from Team Belgium. As said, Team Belgium, we saw them in the B group this morning, dropping to 9th place. Now Team Japan and the United States completing that top 3 within the World Cup standings. So then we'll have a short break before we continue with the teams. The team pursuit for men at 13:28 local time. So please stay tuned as we shortly will continue with the team's pursuit for men. In about 8 minutes, you'll see some more action here on the ice of the Hamar Olympic Hall. So here we go, we continue with the men's team pursuit. As you see the World Cup standings on your screen, the United States leading the World Cup standings with 120 points. Poland in second, Canada in third, France, Switzerland and Norway, as well as China and Netherlands still close together. As the teams can grab the final points this weekend. Here we have the starting list. Japan against Italy, Netherlands against Germany, China against the United States, and the final pair will be France against Norway. Those are the 8 teams that we will be seeing in this A group. So we start this men's team pursuit with pair number 1, of course. This Team Italy on the crossing, Giotto, Malfatti and Giovanni. It's this Giotto that will be the leading man for Team Italy. So taken up against Team Japan, Sasaki, Yamada and Arito. Those are your 3 Japanese men. As these teams have to set the first time off on the scoreboard.
Ready.
So this is the start of Team Japan against the reigning world champions, Team Italy. They have started for their 8th lap, so 2 laps more compared to the women for a total of 3,200 meters. Again, 3 skaters on the ice. As you see also here, a lot of that pushing technique. So 1 skater that takes up all 8 laps in the front of the pack. The other skaters helping a bit by pushing the skater in front of them. The closer they can stay together, the more aerodynamic they are, the less energy they consume. But also the more risk, as we just saw with Team Netherlands. The more risk for touching the leg or skate from the skater in front or behind them, causing a disturbance or even a fall, as we saw for Team Netherlands. So 2.5 laps done. Team Italy slightly behind on Team Japan. Also the faster half lap time for Team Italy there. So you have 5 more laps to go. Team Italy still leading. Very consistent pace from them. Very controlled team, the world champions. That great race that we saw last year. Very controlled. A lot of endurance in that team. As you see by the lap time still below the 14 seconds, both teams. Japan slightly slower again in intermediate time. 38/10 of a second behind on Team Italy. Team Italy that will try to set a fast pace early in this team's pursuit. They even have a slight acceleration there. Team Italy, Giotto leading that. Balance seems perfectly. Team Japan, that we see the third skater having some slight difficulty there. We must try to stay close. So we know that third skater is very important for the time. So the time at the finish will be taken for the third skater. Also here we see third skater from Team Italy having to push a bit more. Not pushing his teammates in front. That will definitely lose some speed and some lap time. Team Italy still below those 14.0 seconds. Japan now slightly up as we have the belt over the last lap for Team Italy. Very consistent pace there from Team Italy. Japan now 2.5 seconds behind. What a great performance from Team Italy early in this team pursuit, as they push to the final corner on their way to the finish line. And here we have the finish from the world champions. And a great time, 3:42.62 against a 3:46.01 for Team Japan. They had the best results yet this season, but it seems to be a great time. Let's see what the time is worth in the races that are coming up. See the short replay from the Japanese team. So the pace was quite high. Those skaters for both teams we saw a couple of times just having to push a bit more on themselves, not pushing the skaters in front of them. In the end, that will be a little bit of lost time there, but not a lot as we move on to the next pair number 2. So we have Team Germany starting from the crossing Beckert, Mali and Petzold. And they will be competing against the Dutch trio Bosker, Huizinga and Snelling.
Go to the start.
Same trio that we saw last year during the World Championships, where they took home the silver medal behind the Italian team. So we have the start of this second pair, Team Netherlands against Team Germany. And of course they will go up against that time of Team Italy. So the time to beat, 3:42.60. Maybe even more consistent pace of the Italian Giotto Malfatti and Giovanni. So already both the Netherlands and Germany lose out a bit of time there on the Italian team. So looking back at those times from Team Italy, all laps between the 13.3 and the 13.8, which is so consistent over those 8 laps. It's very hard to discipline this. Lactate building up during those 8 laps. So skates such a high pace. Trying to stay close together. You see Bosker that doesn't seem to push the other skaters. Huizinga in front for Team the Netherlands. They are 55 hundredths of a second up on the time of Team Italy. The pace seems to be steady. Still a long way to go for both teams. 35 grid pace from Netherlands, 37 for Team Germany. So good pace for them. Germany number 10 in the overall standings of the ISU World Cup. Team Netherlands again, the 13.58. Now gaining a little bit even on Team Italy. But can they keep this up? 2:20.52 against 2:20.19 from Team Italy at this point. 3 more laps to go for them. And also Team Germany having those steady laps out. Still in below the 14.0 seconds. Team Germany. Also some great endurance and mass start skaters there. 13.67 now, losing a bit on Team Italy. Still 3/10 up on the time, but it is looking a bit more stable there for Team the Netherlands. 38, that's a bit too much. Losing out 2/10 of a second just in that half lap. Let's see what they can do in that final lap. 37.7, gaining a bit of speed again. Germany now again in 37. Not losing out too much, but already 2 seconds behind on Team Italy. We are way in front of Team Japan. 38.7 for Team Netherlands. Germany keeping those 13.7 intermediate lap times. Great performance from them. But it will be the win in this race for Team the Netherlands as they finish in second. That's 0.5 of a second behind on Team Italy. Team Germany finds himself back in third spot with a great few last couple of laps. This also showed a very consistent pace during those final laps, as we see the replay here from both teams of this second pair. So again here we are looking into the actual World Cup standings as the United States had a win in both Salt Lake City and Calgary. Therefore the 120 points leading the overall classification, as we'll see them now on the crossing. Build Team United States, Dawson, Lehman and Sepouran, the World Cup leaders. Can they go up for their third World Cup win of this season? Winning already in Salt Lake and Calgary, and they go up against Team China, Wu, Ning and Li. Those will be the skaters for Team China. This third pair. Number 7 in the Asia World Cup Team Pursuit standings. So as I wanted to say, Team Poland and Canada, number 2 and 3 in the World Cup standings. They competed this morning in the B group. So already got their points there. And also number 5, Switzerland. We saw them already in the morning. This A group will give some extra points to the different teams. So there will be some changes in the overall World Cup standings as we see it now. Here we saw the start of Team China against Team United States. Slightly fast start compared to Team Italy. Here we see the fast pace of Team United States at 13.1. Great start of Team United States, but we know from them they can sometimes even start a bit too fast here. 13.00 even for Team United States. We have to see if they can hold that until the end of these 8 laps, but a very fast start there from Team United States. Dawson and Sepouran, the Team Pursuit specialist. High endurance in this team. Multiple medals in the last couple of years. 13.1 for Team United States. Now already above the 40 seconds for Team China. Looks to be a mistake. 13.56 for Team China. 0.5 of a second up on Team Italy. Is still the current leader. The time of 3:42.60. But already more than 2 seconds in front. That is the United States with a 13.27. The lap times seem to even out a bit more for them. It's still faster lap times compared to Team Italy. But we know from Team Italy they didn't have any lap times above the 13.8. Watch the end of these 8 laps. 3 laps to go for Team United States. Still very consistent and gaining on the time of Team Italy. Now 2.4 seconds down on that time. What a fast pace from Team United States. But now we see the, it's a 13.6 losing out a bit of time on Team Italy. And Team China just slightly below those 14.0 second half lap times. As it seems to be stable. 2 laps to go. It should be enough. Those 2.6 seconds ahead of Team Italy. But we know from this discipline, if you get tired, then you lose a lot of time in those final laps. As we go towards the bell for the last lap for Team United States. Still perfectly in each other, pushing as it is. Team China 14.26 there, 2.5 seconds up on the time of Team Italy as we go towards the final half lap. 13.9, losing a bit of time on Team Italy, but they have plenty of time on the Italians. Here we have to finish. It is the new fastest time for Team United States, and what a great time, the 3:40.31. What a great start from the United States, and what a very fast start from them, and they can hold it until the end. It is Team China now in 6th place, 3:46.33. So that is United States in 1st, Italy in 2nd, and the Netherlands in 3rd at this moment. But we still have one more pair to go. See the replay for Team United States. Their coach gives some pointers there on the straight. Great performance from the team of the United States. So now have to wait for the final pair to see if they take home their 3rd victory of this season within the World Cup circuit. First we have here the final pair, Team Norway on the crossing, Eitrem, Strand and Henriksen. So they will be competing against the French. It will be starting on the straight. It is Lobino, Thibault and Deschamps. It will compete for the French team here on the ice over the Hamar Olympic Hall in Norway.
Go to the start.
Bronze medal winners from the last year's World Championships. The Norwegian team. Can they beat the United States? 3:40.28. Very fast pace from the beginning. Already 0.6 of a second up France, 0.4 of a second up on Team United States. But we know from these teams that their tactic is a bit more like the Italians, so a very steady race they normally have. Initial laps will be a bit slower compared to the United States that really go in those 8 laps quite boldly. At fast pace, trying to hold that fast pace as long as possible. Hopefully not lose out in those last couple of laps too much, but see from these teams as well as the Italians a bit more steady pace, trying to hold it towards the end. It looks to be that these lap times are a bit too slow for the top places in these men's team pursuit, as they are still close together, but the lap times 13.8, 30.7 from Norway. Teams battling it out against each other on the ice in Hamar. Already 4 seconds up on the time of the United States. And only you would say that is a bit too much. to make up as we are halfway these 8 laps. Acceleration there from Team France to go back to the 13.6 half lap times. 13.9 from Team Norway. 45.3 seconds behind. In France picking up some speed. So now increase their lead over Team Norway. 35 even for Team France. What a quarter there from Team France. To go towards the outside, quite a lot loose. Some speed there, 0.3 of a second up on their last lap time, but they are together again. Start pushing again, so can they find some more speed? 38 against the 14.1 from Norway, 7th and 8th place still at this moment. Both teams need to find some speed in order to gain a few places there. As we saw from the other teams, that their lap times were very consistent below or around those 14.0 half lap times. As we hear the bell for the last lap for Team France. 40.0 against the 14.0 from Norway, with both teams 5.7 and 7.4 seconds behind or the United States. So means we saw a great race there from the United States. They will take their 3rd World Cup win of this season. And the finish here for Team France. The 3:46.61 is the 7th place, and 3:48.14 for Team Norway, the 8th place for them. That means that it is indeed the United States that wins their 3rd medal, their 3rd gold medal of the season, as they prepare themselves for, of course, the Olympic Games in February, and we'll see them. They are battling it out for that Olympic gold medal. It is Team Italy that we saw in the first race. It takes home the silver medal, the reigning world champions. It needed to set a time early in this men's team pursuit. And it is in the end Team Netherlands with 3:43.04 to take home the bronze. So again, a great race from Team USA. As we saw here, that almost fall from Team France. So he hooked himself. It looked even like with his skate. Luckily for them, they didn't fall, as we saw with Team the Netherlands. So we have the final results here. It is the United States, Italy and the Netherlands that will go towards the podium. Germany in 4th, Japan in 5th, China in 6th, France and Norway in 7th and 8th. Those are the 8 teams that skated in this men's team pursuit. As we then move on to hopefully the World Cup standings, to see that, of course, the United States has won the overall World Cup with their 3 wins. The Netherlands moving up to 2nd, just in front of Team France, Team Italy, Germany, China and Norway. Japan and Poland, Canada, they make up the top 10 of the World Cup standings. But a clear winner with their 3 wins, the United States. A great performance by them again here on the ice of the Olympic Hall in Hamar. As we then have a short ice reservice before we continue with the 500 meter for women at 14:16 local time. So in about 20 minutes we will continue with the 500 meter for the women, followed up immediately by the 500 meter for the men. So stay tuned, as we have a lot more racing to go on this final day of the ISU World Cup here in Hamar.
I'll give you the hands afterwards. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, here you are. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. nice medals.
They're beautiful.
Yes. You got your shoes?
Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You need to pull your shit together.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The United States of America. And first place and gold medalists, Canada.
Thank you. Yeah. So,
Thank
you
you.
are. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for Team Pursuit Women.
What a cutie. That's so funny. Where mine like I went to Survivor. We're so survivors? Yeah. Sorry. Already. Alright, we got a photo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup Team Pursuit Men. In third place and bronze medalists, the Netherlands. Medals and local gifts are being presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff and President of the Norwegian Skating Association, Mr. Niels Einar Hos.
Ja, geef je de hand zo.
Is goed, is goed, is goed, is goed.
Hier met het systeem in zitten.
Ja.
Niet ontdekt. Goed. Alsjeblieft.
Yes.
Nou, in ieder geval enorm gefeliciteerd.
Dank u wel, dank u
Deze
wel.
ticket die ook veilig gesteld is.
Dat ook nog.
Ja, top gedaan. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Kijk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Team Netherlands. In second place and silver medalists, Italy.
your hand.
Thank you.
So here, Aguri. Aguri, heel good.
Thanks. Struggle to
Spelen die kaart zo? Zij weten al vanaf oktober dat trainen.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Still my car. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Italy! In first place, gold medalist, United States of America.
Is het tight podium?
BP.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay.
That's
I'll
big
give you a hand
boys.
afterwards.
Okay.
Volgens mij PP.
Thank you. Like the ribbon.
Ik heb nog nooit gepakt, dus ik heb geen idee.
Last one. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Almost a track record again.
Thank you. Almost.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for
Give it up for the United States. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the team pursuit men. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the overall ISU World Cup Team Pursuit Women. In third place, the bronze medalists, representing the United States of America, here they are. Medals and gifts and trophies are being presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff.
This is one that is quite cool.
Yes, very cool.
So, for you, congratulations.
Thank
again.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
See all the yeah.
Team USA. In second place is Team Japan.
Number two. You should have given you as a team leader. Okay. Congratulations. 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 Of course. Congratulations.
Japan. In first place and
This is quite heavy. Shall I give it to the middle?
To the middle.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank
This
you.
is new and it's hope that it stays like.
Canada! Congratulations to the ISU World Cup overall trophy winners for the team pursuit men.
Did we touch jersey? Oh, it's all dirty now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the trophy ceremony for the ISU World Cup overall team pursuit men. In third place, Team France. Trophy is being presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff.
Give it to the middle guy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. It's the new trophy.
France. In second place, the Netherlands.
Middelste.
Ja.
Gefeliciteerd nogmaals.
Ja, dankjewel. Ja.
Gefeliciteerd.
The Netherlands. In first place and winner, please welcome the United States of America.
So, here it is.
Thank you.
One and only.
Thank you very much.
Ja, dankjewel.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The United States of America.
Well, sir.
Allemaal Chris, maar hij is voor jou. Kom maar, jongen.
I am here with the overall winners, Team USA. How does it feel like to win today and to also win the overall?
Yeah, no, it's a great lead up to the next couple months, and with such a competitive field, it's fun to always be on top.
Yeah, we put together a good race, and
Congratulations and best of luck the rest of the season.
Ja, det ble annonsert i underkant av 3 minutter igjen til start. Damenes A-gruppe på 500 meter. Det blir fartsfest på høyt nivå. Vi har sterke løpere nedover i startlista. B-gruppa er tidligere i dag vunnet av kinesiske Wang på 38,88. Vår egen Julie Nistas Antonsen kom på en sjetteplass, 38,87. Og Ane Sofie Knudsen Rikdal var dessverre uheldig å falle. Ellers oppsummert fra kampen så har det jo overvært permitteringen. Norge kom på 8. plass og endte som 7 totalt i verdenscupen. Og den øvelsen. Vi har ca. 2 minutter igjen til start. Det kan rapporteres om istemperatur som ligger bak rundt 8-9 minusgrader. Det er ca. 15,9-16 grader i havnen, og Greta er 21%. Ganske optimale forhold for å vike skyværet. Vi så det i herrenes rekker også, men de norske leverte sterk i det. Norges vært på alle sammen til Erik selv, ansatt i 91 på Norges versi år. Så vi gjør klar for fortsatt.
So here we go again, the women's 500 meter World Cup standings. You see on screen Femke Kok won all 500 meters this season, but she won't be attending this 500 meters, so we'll definitely have a new winner. First gold medal winner of this season. As we see the starting list, the first 5 pairs on the screen with Sofia Torp and Dionne Voskamp. Starting off this 500 meter here with race 6 to 10 with Anna Boersma against Erin Jackson in pair number 9 and Berger against Yoshida in pair number 10. Here we go, the women's 500 meter, the second 500 meter of this weekend, as we already have the first 500 meter on Friday. That was won by Femke Kok. Here it is, the inner lane representing Denmark, Sofia Torp. Won the B division 1000 meter. Yesterday second on the 500 meter on Friday. Now she's back in the A group as she takes it up against Dionne Voskamp from the Netherlands. The 28-year-old first World Cup of this season. After some of the Dutch women passed. Therefore, she's back in the World Cup circuit and they're off for the first 500 meter of today with that very fast start from Dionne Voskamp to 10:44 against the 10:81 from Torp. Torp, we know from her that she has a great full lap in her legs as she goes up against the 500 meter specialist Voskamp. Great corner entry from Voskamp as she has to set the first time on the scoreboard for this 500 meter for the women. This is a 38.15 for Voskamp. That will be the time to beat for the upcoming women. And 38.71 for Sofia Torp, the former short track speed skater. Now racing in the World Cup circuit for Norway. See the replay here from Voskamp. Time just above the 38 seconds. Last year, multiple top 10 results in the World Cup circuit. Let's see what her time is worth as we will continue with the second pair in this women's 500 meter. The inner lane is for Carolina Hiller-Donnelly, 28-year-old from Canada. She takes it up against another Canadian, Brooklyn McDowell, in the outer lane.
Go to the start.
Carolina Hiller won the B division on Friday. The 500 meter, therefore back in the A group.
Ready.
She already skated in the A group in Calgary, where she came in second. The women are off for their 500 meter. Slightly faster opening for Carolina Hiller Donnelly. To 10:58. Brooklyn McDowell 10:62. 22nd during last year's World Championship of the 500 meters. Brooklyn McDowell 19th last weekend in Heerenveen. As they come onto the final stretch of this 500 meters. Here's the win for Carolina Hiller Donnelly. She takes up that second position at the moment. 38:25 against the 38:36 for Brooklyn McDowell. Those are number 2 and 3 at this moment as we continue to pair number 3 on this 500 meter. So the track record in Hamar skated last Friday by Femke Kok, 37:05. We know from the previous World Cups will be very hard for these women to beat the time and come close to Femke Kok as we continue to pair number 3, Ryo Yamada, in a lane for Japan against another Japanese. It is Kurumi Inagawa, 26-year-old in the outer lane. 15th in Calgary. Number 16 from the World Championships last year. She takes it up against the number 11 from last year's World Championship. Slightly fast opening for Yamada. Or this indeed Inagawa. This is slightly fast over 10:56. See the two Japanese women trying to beat the time of Diona Voskamp, the 38:15. The current time to beat. See the faster pace of Ryo Yamada finishes in front of her teammate, 38:24. Second place for her and 38:71. Same time as Sophia Torp, as Kurumi Inagawa finds herself back in 6th place. See the replay from this third race. Two Japanese women. Great shot there of the start. Ryo Yamada. As she wins this third pair. Finds herself back in 2nd place at this moment, but still a lot of women left. As we continue with pair number 4, it is Anzelika Wojcik representing Team Poland. 29-year-old starting from the inner lane as she goes up against Lining Tian in the outer lane.
Go to the start.
Lining Tian 13 last year, the World Championships.
Ready.
Result this year, 15th place in Calgary as they're off for this 4th pair. Wojcik 7th last year during the World Championships as they open in 10:4 and 10:6. 4 World Cup medals for Wojcik last season. The first one this season yet to come. Maybe today is that day. Yes, it is Tian in the inside corner now. Passes Wojcik. It is Tian that crosses the finish line in first in a time of 38:07. 38:28 for Wojcik. It's new fastest time for Tian. Beating Diona Voskamp. Takes over the lead. she's happy with the time of her race. We then move on to pair number 5. Kristina Stilieva representing Kazakhstan, 25-year-old. Starting from the inner lane 8th. During the first 500 meter on Friday 4th during the World Championships last year. She takes it up against Min Sung Kim from Korea. The World Cup winner of 2023, the runner-up in 2024. Bronze medal winner from last year's World Championship, starting from the outer lane. And they're off in one go. It is Sileva against Kim with their opening times of 10:57 against a 10:16. Kim now trying to close that gap on the crossing. As that last inside corner now passes Silieva. It will be Kim coming to the line first. Can she beat a time of 38:07? She can. The 37:83 will be the new time to beat. She's also slightly faster than her time of last Friday. Silieva now in 6th place with a time of 38:26. So we now have Kim, Tian and Voskamp in the top 3. Current classification of this second 500 meter. So we will move on to pair number 6. There we have them, Kim, Tian and Voskamp, the top 3 at this moment. So we move towards pair number 6, the inner lane from Germany. We have Sophie Warmuth, the youngster from Germany, only 23 years old. The winner of the 500 meter World Cup 2023 for Neo Seniors. She takes it up again against Kaja Ziomek-Nogal from Poland. Just missed out on a World Cup medal in Salt Lake City with a 4th place, but she did win her first medal last Friday with that 2nd place behind, of course, Femke Kok. Can she repeat that again? Kok is not here, so is she able to repeat that race with a 10:43? She has a good opening and a 10:56 from Warmuth. Also doing fine. Everything has to be good in this final lap of the 500 meter. 12 during last year's 500 meter World Championships. On the final straight, it is Nogal leading in front of Warmuth in a time of 37:83. Same time as our current leader Min Sung Kim. Slightly slower than her race on Friday. 37:65 on Friday. You see time of Warmuth, the 38:03, 3rd place for her at the moment. As it goes faster and faster in this 500 meter for the women. So 12 women done, 8 more to go. 7th pair now on starting line. It is Martina Baran from Poland starting from the inner lane. Second place, best result this season yet in Salt Lake City against Beatrice Lamarche. Starting from the outer lane, representing Canada. 27-year-old bronze on the 1000 meters in Salt Lake City. First World Cup of this season.
Ready.
She took the 9th place on Friday on the first 500 meter. Can she do better on this 500 meter? Let's see. It is the better start from Martina Baran. A 10.55 against the 10.79. Both already up on fastest opening from our current leader, Kaja Ziomek-Nogal from Poland. She was slightly faster than Min Soo Kim. Min Soo Kim now in second. As it is Martina Baran that will win this race. The 37.95, third place for her at the moment. 38.39 for Beatrice Lamarche as she finds herself back in 12th. So, in general, looking over the times that we already have, it looks to be slightly slower final times compared to last Friday. On Friday we even had the issue with the starting pistols. We then continue with pair number 8, Najeon Lee from Korea, bronze in Salt Lake City. Only 19 years old. She will compete against Ying Chu Chen from Chinese Taipei. Also already got a medal this season. Silver on the 500 meters in Calgary.
Ready.
And they're off for pair number 8. 19th year old against the 30-year-old young. First a bit over 10.53 for both women. Not the fastest openings, but it is fast enough to be able to reach to the top spots in the current classification. It is the youngster Najeon Lee staying in front of Ying Chu Chen and wins this race in a time of 37.91. Takes over that third spot from Martina Baran. Ying Chu Chen, 38.38, 13th place for her. So we have 4 more skaters left in this 500 meter for the women. It is quite close all together, only 0.3 of a second between the number 7 and our current leader, Kaja Ziomek-Nogal, still leading. She on the bottom right of the screen, 37.83. She was a couple of thousandths of a second faster than Min Soo Kim. She's currently leading as we go towards pair number 9. We see Anna Boersma in the inner lane representing the Netherlands. Fourth in Calgary on the 500 meter, first World Cup appearance this season as she goes up against the Olympic champion Aaron Jackson, starting in the outer lane for the United States. The winner of the World Cup classification in 2024. 3 medals already this season. With a false start, looks to be the inner lane indicated with the white flag. That will be Anna Boersma. So we have the replay of this start.
Ready.
There it was, the slight movement of the left leg of Anna Boersma. just before the starting pistol went off. And as we already saw there, it looks to be that Erin Jackson is starting for the point.
Go to the start.
She will, again, just like Friday, will skate this 500 meter at full pace. Let's see if that's the case.
Ready.
So we have the restart of this 9th pair. And here we see it indeed. This start of Anna Boersma and Erin Jackson just starting to gain the important points to qualify for the Olympic Games. Still recovering from the injury. We saw it in Heerenveen, we saw it in first 500 meter on Friday. Means that Anna Boersma has to skate on her own. But she otherwise also won't have a target in front of her. Here she comes, Anna Boersma on the final stretch. As she finishes in the time of 38:34, 12th place for her at the moment. 41:76, that's the time of Erin Jackson. Just in order to gain the important points for qualifying places in the Olympic Games. As we move on to the final pair, the final 2 women on the ice. It was not the race that the coach of Anna Boersma hoped for. 38:11 from last Friday. She is slower now as we then move on to the final race. Serena Peggio from Italy. On the 500 meter for neo seniors in Milan earlier this month. 7th in the category World Cup. Only 500 meter, only 21 years old. And she takes it up against Yukino Yoshida from Japan. 22-year-old, won already bronze in the first 500 meter in Salt Lake City. And now without Kok, can they take that gold? Kaya Siumek Nogal, she is now in first. The time of 37:83. It is the opening from Yoshida, 10:34. Great opening from her. And the 10:59 from Peggio, also a great opening for the Italian. Now it is Yoshida trying to close that gap to the Italian. Already alongside her halfway that final corner. And she moves it from, can she beat the time? The 37:83 of Nogal. Here she comes. It is the 37:65 for Yoshida. She takes home the gold medal. The 38:05 for Peggio. Minsu Kim also happy with that bronze medal. Just behind on Kaya Ziumek Nogal from Poland. But what a great race from Yoshida. After grabbing that bronze medal last Friday on the first 500 meter. She now takes home the gold as Femke Kok is not attending. Here we see the face of Kaya Ziumek Nogal. Takes home that silver medal. But what a great race from Yoshida. The 10:34 opening. Let's set the pace for the rest of that 500 meter. So we have the final results here of this second 500 meter of this weekend. It is Yoshida winning this 500 meter in front of Kaya Ziumek Nogal, Minsun Kim, Nanjan Lee and Martina Baran. That makes up the top 5. All of them within 0.3 of a second as we then move on to places 11 to 20 with that 20th place for Erin Jackson. Hopefully she can recover before we have the Olympic Games in February. As we then move on to the World Cup standings, of course it is the win for Femke Kok. She won all but this 500 meter. Then move on to the remaining places 11 to 20. But it is the win for Yoshida. With that great race, that great opening from her. The 22-year-old wins this 500 meter, takes home the gold. So we then will have a short break before we continue with the men's 500 meter, the second 500 meter for the men as well. So here we go, the men's 500 meter, the second 500 meter of this weekend. As we see the overall World Cup standings on the screen. Stolz leading in front of Jenning de Bo and Damien Zurich. We know that de Bo is not attending this second 500 meter. We have the starting list. Rates 1 to 5 as Westbrook and Chung will start this Second men's 500 meter, and then races 6 to 10 with Stols against Zurich in race number 9. And it will be De Breu against Morishige in pair number 10. That will close this 500 meter men's competition as we start with pair number 1. This is the inner lane for Stefan Westerbroek, 23-year-old from the Netherlands. 7th last year in Milwaukee. Couple of B division appearances. So he takes it up against Jae Woong Chung from Korea. Third in the B group on Friday on the 500 meters, back after 5 years. Didn't see him on the ice. He's back this season. We'll try to qualify for the Olympic Games. Slight hiccup there at the start. Stefan Westbrook. You know, great first 100 meter from him. The 9:69 for Westerbroek, 9:81 for Jae Woong Chung. Chung can now chase Westerbroek, but it is slightly higher speed from Westerbroek. Chung entering the last inside corner. Westbrook leading on the final stretch. Has to set a time for the other man to come. It is 34:74 for Westbrook and a 35:03 for Jae Woong Chung. Those are the first times on the scoreboard. This team sees not happy with his race. Let's see. The replay, great corner there, just outside of the red blocks on the ice. And as you probably know, can't touch them. So they are positioned on the inside of that line. That means that if you touch them, it will be an immediate disqualification. As we then move on to pair number 2. The inner lane for Jeonmin Koo from Korea. 20-year-old, 6th on the 500 meter in Salt Lake. He takes it up against Piotr Michalski from Poland. We're starting from the outer lane. Won the B division on Friday. Now back in this A division. 8th on the 1000 meters yesterday.
Ready.
He takes it up against the youngster from Korea, and thereof for this second race in the men's 500 meter. Let's go head to head. 9:81 against the 9:76 for the two men slightly behind on Westerbroek. And now the big powerful crossovers from Michalski, the Polish skater, very experienced on the 500 meter, slightly ahead of Kyung-Min Kim, but it is in the end Kyung-Min Koo wins this race in a time of 34:80, and Piotr Michalski finishes in a time of 34:85. So it is Westerbroek still leading at a time of 34:74 as we see the replay from Michalski. And the close finish just in front. This Kyung-Min Koo from Korea. He finds himself in second position at this moment. As we then move on to pair number 3, it is Cedric Brunet from Canada, starting in the inner lane against Katsuhiro Kurutsubo, representing Japan in the outer lane. Best result this season is 6th place during the World Cup in Calgary.
Ready.
You saw Brunet also on the first 500 meter on Friday, where he finished in 17. Oh, and looks he got himself an injury there. Stops halfway that first stretch of 100 meter. Hopefully he is fine. That means that Katsuhiro now has to do it all on his own. Japanese skater, 24 years old, now enters that final inside corner. Ooh, almost steps on a block there. Finishes here in a time of 34.63. Takes over the lead from Westerbroek. And that with a race where he has to skate all on his own. Doesn't have that target in front of him on the crossing, which always helps a little bit to have the target in front of you. And here we have the finisher Cedric Brunet. Hopefully he's fine, as we are getting closer, of course, to the Olympics. There you see his face. He shakes his head, knows there's something wrong. Hopefully he's fine. So Katsubo through that final corner. Then we continue with pair number 4. Start lane will be Ziwen Lian from China. Starting from the inner lane. She takes it up against Tatsuya Shinama, representing Japan. Third in the World Cup classification on the 500 meters last season. Won the World Cup in Milwaukee last season. This season, no medals yet. Can that change today, as he gains a slight advantage during its first 100 meter. 9:53, great opening for Shinama, and a 9:83 for Lian. It is a great crossing for the Japanese Shinama, already alongside the Chinese skater. Tries to manage that final inside corner with so much speed. He finishes in a time of 34.51, new leader. And a 34.87 for Ziwen Lian, as he finishes in 6th place. So it is Shinama leading in front of his teammate Katsuhiro Kuratsubo in 2nd position now. And Steven Westbrook, we find him in 3rd place at this moment. So not even halfway, only 4 pairs done. That means we have 6 more to go in this men's 500 meter, the second 500 meter of this weekend. To then move on to pair number 5. The inside lane is for Martin Liv, representing Estonia. 7th on the 500 meter in Calgary. He takes it up against the Japanese Ita Hiroshi from Japan. Only 21 years old. Great first 500 meter on Friday, where he came in 5th place. 2nd during the 2024 Junior World Championships on the 500 meter. What a great opening in the 9:51 for Hiroshi, 9:76 for Martin Liv. You know for Martin that he can also take a good 1000 meter. So this will be his weapon, that full lap. What a great speed there from the Japanese skater going into that final corner. Hiroshi on the final stretch. 5th last Friday. What can he do today? A new fastest time. The 34.45. She takes over the lead from the other Japanese skater Shinama. And that's a great race. 0.06 of a second faster compared to that first 500 meter on Friday. Let's see what the time is worth with 10 more skaters coming up. We then move on to pair number 6. The inner lane is for the number 5 from Calgary, Sebas Denise, representing the Netherlands. Great new personal record there in Calgary. 34.11 as he takes it up against Si Wen Xu from China. The 22-year-old, 19th during last year's World Championship. 5th on the 500 meter in Salt Lake City, and also the first time in Salt Lake City below the 34 seconds. Now it looks like he takes it easy, but not for Sebas Denise, as he opens in a time of 9:61. So I said earlier, some of the skaters just skating for the points. It is mandatory to start your race according to the rules of the ISU, especially during this and the 5th World Cup that will be held in January. We'll see some skaters that will be starting just for the points, but it is a great race for Sebas Denise, the 34.49. Second place at the moment, just behind Hiroshi. And he can be happy. It's also 0.12 of a second faster than he did last Friday. So great improvement from the Dutchman. She finds Si Wen Xu back on the 11th place at this moment. You see stalls getting ready. On the bottom right, it is Hiroshi, Denise and Shinama, the current top 3 in the classifications. 8 more skaters left as we continue with pair number 7. It is Jinju Gao from China, starting from the inner lane. Bronze in Salt Lake City. She takes it up against Cooper McLeod, representing the USA. The winner of the bronze medal during last year's World Championships.
Ready.
24 years old. Great start for him. As we see again the Jinju Gao starting just for the points. Cooper McLeod giving it his all. 9:72 for him. Slightly behind on Hiroshi. It had a great start and also that great lap. Maybe McLeod can gain something in that full lap. But he also got quite a good 1,000 meter in his legs. Can skate some good full laps. 34.78, 7th place for Cooper McLeod. 39.85 for Jinju Gao. Again, a great race from Cooper McLeod, slightly slower than last Friday, but pretty comparable. So we move on to pair number 8. This Björn Magnusson at his home ice rink. 27-year-old takes it up against Yevgeny Koshkin. silver medalist in Salt Lake City. Won 2 World Cups last year. Out of nowhere, actually. Was already a great junior. Didn't have the results yet up until last season.
Ready.
Wonderful start. This is a full start for Koshkin from Kazakhstan. So see the replay of the start here. Slight movement before the starting pistol went off from the skater from Kazakhstan.
False start, outer lane not stable.
So we'll have a restart of this 8th pair.
Go to the start.
Magnussen 5th on the 500 meter in Salt Lake City. Close to the podium. Can he reach it today? His home ice rink now they're off with its restart, and what a great opening again from Koshkin. The 9:39. Great opening. Can he put a great full lap as well? Magnussen just in front of him. Great target for Koshkin as he gains speed, as he gains momentum. Already alongside him. Goes through that inside corner, keeps up its speed, but the slightly higher speed from Magnussen. Koshkin wins this race in the 34.56. He finds himself in 4th place in 34.69 for Björn Magnussen. Number 4 and 6 in the current classification of this men's 500 meter. So we then move on to the final 2 pairs, and we'll have a close watch at what that time will be. So Jordan Stoltz already skating 3 track records. 2 on Friday, where he skated a track record on both the 500 and the 1500 meter, winning both distances. Also track record on the 1000 meter, just like he did last weekend in Heerenveen. It is Jordan Stoltz, only 21 years old. Can he beat his track record of 33.97 as he goes up against Damian Zurek from Poland? Twice silver this year already. Won that bronze medal last Friday in the 500 meter. Number 7 from last year's World Championships. Takes it up.
Ready.
Against the favorite. And they're off in one go. Again, the great start from Stoltz. We'll see the opening, the 9:59 for Stoltz and the 9:62 for Zurek. But we know that Stoltz has some of theirs in his legs from that 1500 meter, from that 1000 meter. As he gains speed, will we see the 60 kilometers per hour? It is Zurek indeed in the inside corner. Passes Stoltz. But now the high speed from Stoltz. Can he get back? It is a close finish. It is Zurek, the 34.15. What a great race from the Polish skater. But in the end, it is Stoltz slightly in front with the 34.14. What a close battle on that final stretch between these 2 skaters. And what a great race we just watched. Zurek, what a speed he gained on that crossing, having Stoltz as his target, but a slight hiccup there in the inside corners. We see the final photo finish right here. So it is Stoltz, only 1/1000th of a second in front of Zurek. What a great race to watch. What a great speed from Stoltz. Didn't have the speed going into that final outside corner. But when coming out of it, here we see it. He gains so much speed, gets along Zurek, and in the end finishes just in front. Here we see already the celebration. Oh, and then they see it only 1/100th of a second, which ends up being only 1,000th of a second behind on Stoltz. But we're not done yet. It's only one more race to go. And we have the runner-up from the 2024-2025 World Cup classification. Lauren Dubois from Canada on the inner lane. As he takes it up against Wataru Morishige from Japan in the outer lane. The winner of the World Cup classification 2024. Number 5 from last year's World Championships. And thereof, Dubois again also starting to gain some points. That means that Morishige has to do it all on his own. 9.70 for Morishige. 25-year-old from Japan. Doesn't have that target in front of him. Has to do it all on his own as he enters the final corner. Great technique from Morishige. Goes up over the finish line, 34.80. 13th place for him. That means that is another win for Stoltz. Not in a new track record, but he already got that one last Friday. But a great race we saw against Damien Zurek that came so close. But in the end, it is another win for Stoltz. Only 1,000th of a second between them. And it is a third place for Hirose. This is a celebration right here. Gets some marks from his coach immediately. We then will have the final results of this second 500 meter. Stoltz winning in front of Damien Zurek. Only 1,000th of a second between them. Hiroshi in third, Denise in fourth, and Shinama in fifth place. So also a great result for the Japanese men. As we see 3 Japanese men in the top 7. Koshkin in 6th. Magnussen in 8th, Liv in 9th, and Westenbroek makes up the top 10th. As we then move on to the places 11 to 20, with unfortunately also some skaters just skating to gain the important points for the overall World Cup standings as we see it on the screen. Stoltz still leading in front of Damien Zurek. De Bo now in third place as we will see the places 11 to 20 of that World Cup standing. So what a great race, what a great battle we saw between Stoltz and Zurek. We then will resurface the ice, have a short break before we continue with the mass start for women and the mass start for men. After which we will end today with the mixed team relay. So stay tuned as we have a couple more things left during this third day of the ISU World Cup speed skating here in the Olympic Hall of Hamar.
Congratulations.
In first place and gold medalist representing Japan, Yukino Yoshida.
Congratulations. Very well.
Yukino Yoshida. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the 500-meter women. Awesome. Best of luck the rest of the season. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup 500-meter men. In third place and bronze medalist representing Japan, Yuna Hirose. Medals and local gifts are being presented by ISU representative Mr. Alvin Hasselhoff. And chair of the speed skating technical committee of the Norwegian Skating Association, Ms. Renate Nilsson.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yuna Hirose. In second place and silver medalist, representing Poland, Damian Turek.
This was a close finish.
Yes, it was close.
Very tight.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Damian Turek. In first place and gold medalist representing the United States of America, Jordan Stoltz.
We're only centimeters,
Ja.
but somehow we meet
Yeah.
every time.
Ja.
Congratulations. Very well done.
Thank you.
Grace,
Thank
good
you.
luck all of you in the Olympics.
Yeah, thank you.
Jordan next, starting at 3:27 p.m., we have the women's mass start race, followed by the men's mass start, and then the mixed relay.
Here we go, the women's mass start here with the overall World Cup standings. It is Mancinello leading the overall World Cup standings in front of Blondet and Groenewoud. Top three all won one World Cup so far. Mancinello winning the first, Blondet second, Mark Groenewoud last weekend in Heerenveen winning the third World Cup. So we have the women's starting list, 23 women will be starting this women's mass start. So here we have our World Cup leader, Mia Mancinello from the United States. She will take it up against Ivani Blondin representing Canada. from the last couple of years. All the time we see her back in the Mastart, and she as well the winner of the 3000 meter. Yesterday Marijke Groene-Wout representing the Netherlands, the current world champion. Valérie Monté representing Canada, starting 4th on the first starting line. In 5th it is Ji-woo Park from Korea. And in 6th we will have Jinden Hao from China. Those are the first 6 women. We'll be starting from the first starting line, and then all the rest of the women will join them. So the mass start format, 16 laps, which the first lap must be skated behind the World Cup leader, indicated with the yellow helmet cover, Mia Manganiello. So she will lead this first lap.
Ready.
As we see here. So the first lap to be led by Mia Manganiello. After that we will hear the starting pistol going off. After which we'll have 15 laps of action here on the ice of the Hamar Olympic Hall in Norway. Furthermore, we have 3 intermediate sprints for 8 and 12 laps to go. Those are the intermediate sprints, in which points can be gained for the first 3 skaters to cross the finish line. And those points are not as much as you get for the finishing positions 1, 2 and 3, but they may be important for some of these skaters to gain important points in order to finish high in the ranking and gain some important points for the overall World Cup classification in order to qualify for the Olympic Games in February. That's why, as you will see now, some skaters will go for that. It is Zueva, Kerkhoff and Myers that take a bit of an advantage on the peloton. But that's already being taken care of by the number 21, Semenova. See right there. So the gap is closed. Everyone back together as we hear the first bell for first intermediate sprint. Some of the countries skating here. Really a team performance. Maximum of 2 skaters per country allowed in the A group. So we have a close finish there for the intermediate sprint. It looks like Lola Brigida takes the first intermediate sprint in front of Golubeva and Kerkhoff in 3rd. Kerkhoff, of course, controlling this small start for Marijke Groene-Wout, the winner of last weekend. With that great tactic that the Dutch team did during the mass start in Heerenveen. Constantly attacking during the final 6 laps. First it was Groene-Wout, then it was Kerkhoff, and the other way around. Then for the competitors having to close that gap every time again. Now it's a bit different. Not a lot of action yet. But we will go to the second intermediate sprint, so you see the pace picking up again. The number 22 for Zueva. Semenova in 2nd, Blondin in 3rd. And then slows down again. The fall there from the Chinese skater. It's the number 15, Bingju Jiang from China going down. Then we have the bell for the second intermediate sprint. The two women from Switzerland, McGregor and Ardy, and Wout in third. But as you see, Kerkhoff managing the pace, letting the Swiss women gain a bit of advantage there for those sprinting points. Also behind them, some action to gain that final point, and that will be going to Rosner. There we have sprint lap 8, second intermediate sprint, McGregor, Ardy and Rosmer. 3, 2 and 1 point will be important for the overall classification. And then the pace is going down again. Everyone back together. A lot of pushing there. As everyone tries to get into position. You see that Manganiello tries to take up that position right behind Groenewoud. Groenewoud looks behind. Sees there the two women from the United States right on her back. Blondin trying to push there a little bit. Tries to take up that position right behind Groenewoud. As they know, the speed from Groenewoud in those last couple of laps are important to stay behind her. Then another attack from the number 11. Or this number 18, of course. Lovas and Kerkhoff. As we heard the third bell for the third intermediate sprint. Lavas and Kerkhoff, of course, going with the Norwegian skater as the crowd cheers her on. Kerkhoff going for the intermediate sprint. Takes up the 3 points. 2 to Lovas and 1 will be going to Rosner. So that will be not a few points for Rosner. And now it's all about the final sprint. So Kerkhoff is continuing her attack. Smart play again from the Dutch women, as we see a fall there from the number 8, Ainano Sato. A very smart player from the Dutch women. We saw during that close-up that Blondin and Manganiello are really focusing on Groenewoud. This is a great situation for Groenewoud. She doesn't have to close that gap. It is her teammate in the end. And that's what we are seeing here. Groenewoud in the lead of the peloton. Everyone looking to Groenewoud, and it looks like they are not even seeing that Kerkhoff is almost 100 meters in front of them. Kerkhoff leading, 2 laps to go for her. Can this be the first win for Kerkhoff? Now it is Lim taking the lead. Simonova, Groenewoud. Groenewoud still in front. Kerkhoff, 1.5 lap to go for her, and then the sprint will start. Groenewoud on the inside there, but there's still almost 70 meters as we heard the bell over the last lap for Kerkhoff. Can she hold this? What a great team play of the Dutch women once again. Kerkhoff still in the lead. You see the start of the sprint right there. Blondin on the inside, Manganiello on the outside, and in between it is Groenewoud. Kerkhoff onto the final stretch, and in the back we see Groenewoud. It will be a 1-2 for the Dutch women, but the win for Bente Kerkhoff. Second place for Marijke Groenewoud. Third place for Ivanie Blondin. And what a tactic from the Dutch women. This time it's not Groenwoud, but it is Bente Kerkhoff. What a great performance from Kerkhoff. We saw Rintje Hitsma there on the side, the head coach of Team Netherlands. Kerkhoff actually going to disable that attack for that third intermediate sprint, and after that we saw the head coach signaling to her, just go for it. As she goes for it, the rest is waiting for a move from one or another. So this is it. Number 18 going for that intermediate sprint. Aurora Grinden Lovas from Norway. Kerkhoff trying to take out that attack from the Norwegian. Here we see the head coach. There it is, the signal. Just go, just go. She had quite a big gap towards the peloton. Here it is. Kerkhoff just going for it. So we saw the fall there from the number 8, Ayan Sato. And here she knows it as she crosses the finish line. What a win for Bente Kerkhoff. So we then will have a short break before we continue to the men's team pursuit. So stay tuned. So we have the final results right here. So it is a win for Bente Kerkhoff, Marieke Groenewald in second, Yvonne Blondin in third, Mia Manganiello, World Cup leader in fourth, and Valérie Motin in fifth place. Furthermore, the couple of points gained by the remaining skaters up until Elisabeth Gulibeva. Then move on to place 11 to 20 with Rosner, and Lovas also getting 2 points with those intermediate sprints, ending up in 11th and 12th place. So we then move on to the World Cup standings. Manganiello still the leader. Groenewald in second, but very close to Manganiello. Blondin in third, Maltais in fourth, and Kerkhoff moves up to fifth place. Jewel Park, Lollobrigida, Howe, McGregor and Hardy make up the top 10 in the overall World Cup standings, with one more race left. It will be skated during the 5th World Cup in January, just before the Olympic Games. So we have places 11 to 20. So then see that the referee is watching some of the action, which was expected actually, as we saw a close-up of the tough battle between Blondin and Manganiello for that position right behind Groenewoud. A little bit of pushing back and forth. The referee will take a look at the action if it's allowed. Probably we'll hear that in a couple of minutes, as we will have the restart of this competition at 15:48. So in about 7 minutes we'll have the men's mass start with, of course, Jorrit Bergsma, the winner of last weekend, with that great solo performance. Last 4 laps all on his own, but we'll see if that happens again in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Die moest ik ook denken aan mee, hoor, op de goal. Ja. We hebben nu... Ja. We zijn helemaal aan het... Ja.
You need this?
Here we go, the men's mass start, and we see the World Cup standings on the screen. Jorrit Bergsma leading the overall World Cup standings in front of Jaewon Chung and Andrea Giovannini. Swings, Holwerf, Mali, Wenger, Gilek, Gillians, Belu and Odor making up the top 10, as it is with 2 races left, including this one. We continue to the starting list, the top 6 skaters, similar to the overall World Cup standings. So we also see Jordan Stoll starting from 11th, attending this men's mass start after already winning the 500 meter earlier today. You see a total of 23 skaters that will be starting this men's mass start. So we continue to the presentation of this men's mass start. There we go, starting with number 1 on his helmet, the yellow helmet for the World Cup leader. Won the first and the third World Cup. It is of course Jorrit Bergsma from the Netherlands. And with number 2 it is Jae-won Chung from Korea. So we're starting with number 2 on his helmet, Andrea Giovannini. Winner of the second World Cup world champion. Starting in third, fourth starting position for Bart Swings, representing Belgium, the bronze medal winner at the World Championships last year. The current Olympic champion on this discipline. So we continue to Bart Holwerf, also from the Netherlands. A very strong duo together with Jorrit Bergsma. Can they repeat what we just saw from the Dutch women as we continue to the number 6, Felix Mali, representing Germany. Those are the 6 skaters that will be starting from the first starting line, as they are joined by the remaining skaters. So as just mentioned, this same format as the women, 16 laps, which the first lap has to be skated behind the World Cup leader with the yellow helmet. So that will be Jorrit Bergsma. 3 intermediate sprints on laps 4, 8 and 12 to gain some points for the overall classification. Important for all skaters that are on the edge for qualifying for the 2026 Olympic Games. So let's see what this race will bring. It was an exciting race last weekend in Heerenveen with Jorrit Bergsma having that great solo of 6 laps, finishing all on his own, winning his second mass start of the season. Then the race has started. 15 laps to go for 23 men on the ice. Well, we saw with the Dutch women, very tactical race. A lot of attacks early in that race. Everyone watching a bit to each other. Only some attacks to launch the intermediate sprint. Now we already see some early action. Dumfries, Bello and Torp. They are immediately taken over by another group of skaters. You see Gilek in front. The new track record holder on the 5,000 meters. Schmidt in second, Weideman in third, as we heard the bell for the last lap or the final lap before the first intermediate sprint, of course. The left 2 Canadians joining the party in the front of the race. Weideman and Gelina Bailey. Those are the number 1 and 2 on the finish line for that first intermediate sprint together with Schmidt. They take up 3, 2 and 1 point. Stalls there on the inside looks over his right shoulder to see what everyone is doing. And then we see another attack in the front of the race. It is Victor Haltorp together with Belloir and Mathieu. Those two try to make a gap towards the peloton, but see that the number 20 Jahor Damaretsky closes the gap to front skater Storp, looks over his left shoulder, sees the peloton rushing towards them. Already a high pace early in this race. Beersma now there on the outside with that yellow helmet. Clearly visible from that point of view. We hear the bell for the second intermediate sprint. Beersma now closing that gap all on his own. Closely followed by Petzold from Germany and of course Swings from Belgium. Can't really gain too much. Thor Victor moves to the outside. Beersma already going for the intermediate sprint and gains 3 points in this second intermediate sprint. Petzold in second, Swings takes up the final point. Already a different tactic that we saw compared to what we saw last weekend, where Beersma didn't do a lot early in the race. He had one attack quite soon after the start, but then hold back to have enough endurance left for those final 6 laps that will already pass right now. Holwerf now for the Dutch in the leading group. This Weideman not Weideman, it's Ciperon and Stolz for Team USA, together with Holwerf, the Frenchman Lobineau and Mali. Those are the 5 skaters in front. They look behind them. Bart Swings trying to close that gap. Sees that are some skaters in that leading group as he joins them. 6 skaters now in the lead. Giovanni, number 3 on his helmet, tries to close the gap, and also Jilek tries to go with him as we heard the bell for that third and last intermediate sprint. Mali leading the group now on the inside. Lamino takes over the lead. As you see Holwerf getting the pace down a little bit. Lamino, Ciperon and Mali, they now have the overspeed. They will go on with their attack. As they're still in the lead, and they also take the points for that last intermediate sprint. Right behind them it is Jorrit Beersma in the back. Again setting that attack, closing that gap towards the first 5 skaters. Odor with that big push now takes over the lead, sets up the pace. Jorrit moves to the outside, Swings now on the inside, takes over. As we see again 2 skaters in the front. We have 2 more laps to go. Odor and Wenger. Can they hold on? Odor in the back of Wenger. Right behind him it is Stolz. Stolz trying to close that gap to the leading skaters with 1.5 laps to go. This is quite a dangerous situation, I would say, for the other men. As Stolz has some pace. Stolz has some pace. Goes along the outside as we hear the bell for the last lap for Stolz. Takes over the lead, and there it is. Beersma trying to close that gap, but it is Stolz with pace. As he looks behind him, goes into the final corner on his way to the finish line. It's all about Stoltz. Stoltz taking his second win of today and his fifth win of this weekend. It is the winner, Jordan Stoltz, on this men's mass start. Swings, takes home the silver medal. Giovanni in third. It was a hectic last couple of meters there for the peloton, but a great last 1.5 laps of Stoltz, closing that gap to Lobino and Odor, and in the end winning this men's mass start. There we saw the final stretch of this men's mass start and also the fall of the number 10, Gabriel Odor. After that great last few laps, there it is. Touching skates together with Jorrit Bergsma, but what a win again for Jordan Stoltz, his first mass start win. He fell down last weekend. Very unfortunate in the mass start in Heerenveen. See Jorrit Bergsma, the World Cup leader, discussing this race. There it is, the clash of skates between Bergsma and Odor. Very unfortunate for Odor after that great performance just saw in this mass start. Swings taking home the silver medal. Giovanni finishes in third place. Here it is, the final 1.5 laps. So this Stoltz gaining on the outside, gaining speed, setting the move on the outside up perfectly. Indeed, it was Livio Wenger together with Odor. We're on our way to a great finish there, but here we see the fall of Odor, unfortunately. And also the remaining skaters in the back gaining on them in the end, passing them on that final stretch. But it all happens behind this man, kid from the United States, Jordan Stoltz. What a weekend it has been for him. After already grabbing 3 track records last weekend, 3 track records this weekend, as well as the win on this mass start. Swings and Giovanni in second and third. Bergsma finishing in 4th place. Wenger in 5th. Gilek in 6th. Weideman 7th. Lobino, Petzold and Gilinas Bele. They make up the top 10 of this men's mass start. Sebra, Schmidt and Mali also grabbing a few points along the way in the intermediate sprints, as the rest of the skaters make up the top 23, so the 23 skaters that were present in this men's mass start. So we then have a short resurface of the ice. We then continue with first the World Cup standings of the men's mass start. After this win of Jordan Stoltz, he moves up to 5th position. Bergsma still leading in front of Giovanni Swings and Chang. We'll have now a short resurface of the ice as we then move on to the final races of this weekend. The mixed relay. They will be starting at 16:16 local time. So in about 15 minutes, we'll start with the mixed team relay. Final races of this weekend. So stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup Mass Start Women. In 3rd place and bronze medalist, representing Canada, Yvonne Blondin. Medals and local gifts are being presented by ISU representative Mr. Alvin Hasselhoff and Vice President of the Norwegian Skiing Association, Ms. Niels.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yvonne Blondin. In 2nd place is silver medalist, representing the Netherlands, Marijke Vredebouw.
Ja?
Zo met hand. Maar dat was ook echt zo.
Het was ook nog zo.
Ja, gefeliciteerd.
Dankjewel.
Dat is mooi, hoor.
Thank you.
Marijke Vredebouw. In 1st place and gold medalist, representing the Netherlands, Bente Kirchhoff.
Gouwen. Dat doe ik nog even, ja, ik doe hem even goed. Want het wil nog wel eens een beetje draaien.
Ja.
Gefeliciteerd nogmaals.
Dankjewel.
Ja?
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the mass start women.
Otherwise he's dead. He's talking with his dad sometimes, so yeah, yeah.
Please stay tuned for the medal ceremony for the men's mass start race.
Happy World Ice Skating Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the medal ceremony for the ISU World Cup mass start men. In third place and bronze medalist representing Italy, Andrea Giovannini. Medals of both appearances are being presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff and Vice President of the Norwegian Skating Association, Ms. Milla Scherson. Andrea Giovannini. In second place and silver medalist representing Belgium, Bart Springs.
Eveneens gefeliciteerd. Dankjewel.
Bart Springs. In first place and gold medalist representing the United States, Jordan Scholes.
face after the finish was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I did it.
Thank you.
Jordan Stolz. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the mass start men. And looking forward to see Swings on Wings again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do my best, and I hope to make it a nice week too.
Awesome.
So here we go, the final competition of today, the mixed team relay. See the World Cup standings. It is the Netherlands winning that first mixed team relay during the second World Cup in Calgary. Therefore, the leaders in the overall classification, as we see the starting list: Hungary, Austria, Norway, and the Czech Republic in the first heat. Second heat, Germany, China, Kazakhstan, and Poland. So the World Cup leaders, Netherlands, not
We'll see 4 teams in each race.
forming in this team's relay, mixed team relay.
I will explain the rules to
So,
the mixed relay.
for everyone that
In the event
is relatively new to this event, total of 6 laps will be skated, which the women will start, skate 1 full lap, to which the women will give a push to the men. The men then follow up with 2 full laps. Then the women doing their 2 full laps, and the final lap to be skated by the men, after which we'll have a time, and that time is then again important to compare to the second heat that we will see after this one, as the fastest time will then win this mixed team relay event. So the final event of this great weekend of speed skating here in the Olympic Hall in Norway. The 4 teams getting ready for their heat. It's already a lot of action in the previous mixed team relays. As the team skate closely together, just like we see in the mass start. Fall can always happen. It is even allowed to do some blocking like we see within short track speed skating. Where they of course also have the mixed team relay there. A team consists of 2 women and 2 men. Skating a total of 18 laps. That are of course a bit shorter than we have right here. Then we have the presentation for Team Hungary, Abigail Merckx and Belind Bode. As the women will move towards the starting line. Second starting position for Team Austria, Janine Rosner and Gabrielle Odor. We just saw in the mass start as well. Then Team Norway starting from 3rd position, Julie Nistad Samsonsen and Anna Sophie Knudsen. Then the 4th starting position for the Czech Republic, Nikola Sovrolova and Lucy Karsavova. So Team Hungary taking home the bronze medal during the 2nd World Cup of this season. Austria finished in 4th place there. Both Norway and the Czech Republic ended up outside the top 10. We then have the start of this team mixed relay with the Norwegian team starting out in front of Austria, Hungary, and the Czech Republic now in 4th place. And that's the tricky part of this event. You push towards the man, making sure that you give the push before the 50-meter mark there. Oh, it's already fall there in the back from the Czech Republic. Luckily, they already performed the change. That means that they can still continue. So the men will skate 2 laps. After which the women will come back into the track. So great overtake there by Team Austria. Closely followed by Team Norwegian. And also closing in Team Hungary. Only half second behind on Team Austria. Can the Czech Republic close the gap? We'll see as the first 3 teams still close together. There we see the women in the warm-up track to prepare themselves for that push, that big push, to start their 2 full laps. It is still Austria leading. Right behind them, Team Norway, that will be looking to make a move on either the inside or outside. Team Hungary now having to let Austria and Norway go a bit, as we see there. We then move on to the final exchange for Team Hungary, Norway, and of course the leaders, Team Austria. There we see the men preparing for that final push. And they can't push too late, just before the halfway mark. And then we immediately hear the bell for the last lap for Team Austria and Team Norway. So they're gaining speed. Can they make it happen until the finish line? Team Norway in second, right behind Team Austria. Can they make a move on the final stretch? Team Norway gaining some speed, but it is Odor just having done that mass start now on the outside. Team Norway, and they win this first heat of the mixed team relay. Team Norway finishing first, Austria in second, Team Hungary in third, and in fourth this the Czech Republic.
Hungary with 2:59.73, Czechia with 3:08.36.
That's the first heat of this mixed team relay.
We're ready now almost for the introduction of the second race, where we have another 4 teams.
Also to 57.65. That's the time to beat from Team Norway for the upcoming 4 teams. That's already the final heat of this mixed team relay, and also the final race that we'll see for this Aiju World Cup weekend in Hamar. Great final push there from Team Norway to end up winning this first heat. Second place now for Team Austria, 2:57.71, and Team Hungary 2:59.73. That's the current top 3. As we move on to heat number 2.
In the second heat, we will see Germany, People's Republic of China, Kazakhstan, and Poland. Up for first introduction is Germany.
Presentation for this second heat. First starting position for Team Germany. Silver medalist of the second World Cup, the mixed team relay that was held then. Right behind the Netherlands as we have the second start position. Wen Ying Jin and Xin Tai from China. We'll be starting from that second starting position. Then move on to third starting position. Kazakhstan, Arina Ilignazenko and Alena Birkedal will be the starting skater for Team Kazakhstan. As is the fourth starting position for Team Poland, Karolina Bozik and Natalia Jadrzyk. Number 9 from the only mixed team relay skated this season so far. The World Cup number 2 in Calgary.
Go to the start.
For women on the starting line that will be competing to be first in to that first corner. There we go. Great start of Team Germany. China in second. Poland already moves up to third spot, just in front of Team Kazakhstan. 4 women close together. It is Germany leading, and the men are preparing for that push. Also, very important for the tactics. Don't want to too little speed when getting the push. Also, not going too fast There's a risk then to be too late to that exchange. Team Germany now leading. China in second, Poland in third, Kazakhstan in fourth still. The order as it was in that first corner. See some great tactics from the other teams, just trying to hold back a little bit. Really only worrying about the final lap, the final stretch actually. Actually, almost a great push there from Team Poland, right in the back. But you also don't want to push too soon. You should have to give that push and do that exchange between the two orange marked pillars on the inside of the track. China now has taken over the lead. Team Germany in second, Poland in third. Team Kazakhstan now having to let the first two teams go. Still looking, of course, towards the fastest time at this moment, 2:57.63 from Team Norway, as they came through in 2:00.24. So it looks to be a bit slower compared to the first heat. As it's still Team China in front. Poland now trying to make a move on the outside. Will they manage? Everyone does the exchange as we go towards the bell for the last lap. Team Poland now takes over the lead in front of Team China and Team Germany. And what a great increase of speed there from Team Poland as they accelerate into that final corner of this mixed team relay. As they come onto the final stretch, it is the win in this heat for Team Poland. 2:57.58, just in front of Norway, as Team Poland wins the mixed team relay. Germany finishes in second in this heat, China in third, Kazakhstan in fourth, but Germany and China just miss out on a medal as they finish up in fourth and fifth place. But it is the win for Team Poland. Well, they were almost 1.6 seconds behind with 1.5 laps to go. They had some great speed going into that final lap, and in the end win this mixed team relay. We'll see the replay of some of the action right here. Here the difficult push from the men with a lot of speed, pushing the women for their final 2 laps. This final corner before the finish line. Germany on the outside of Team China, taking that second place, but it all happens behind Team Poland that takes home the win in this mixed team relay. So that concludes the World Cup weekend here in the Olympic Hall of Hamar. Poland wins this mixed team relay. Norway in second, Austria in third. And with Germany, China, Hungary, Kazakhstan and Czechia. That's the 8 mixed team relays skated on the ice of Hamar. So we then move on to the World Cup standings. So Team Netherlands winning the first World Cup. Not present here on the ice of Hamar, Poland. Winning this one. In the end, it is Team Germany that takes home the World Cup win in front of Team Poland, Austria, Hungary, China, Kazakhstan, Czechia, Netherlands, Norway and Finland. That's the top 10 in the World Cup standings of the mixed team relay. As that concludes the World Cup weekend here in Norway. Thank you very much for watching. You saw a lot of action in these 3 days. Have a good Christmas and hopefully we'll see you back during World Cup number 5. The last World Cup before the Olympic Games in Milan in 2026. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back next time.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Zo was serieus.
Should we go right off the check?
Als je zag, wat heb je?
Gabriel,
Thank you so much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Nice to see you.
Team Austria. In second place and silver medalist, representing Norway, Julie Samsonsen and Bjorn Magnussen.
First medal. Great achievement.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Dat was het licht.
Ja, tak.
Tack ska du ha.
Gratulerer.
Tack, tack.
Gratulerer.
Team Norway. And first place, gold medalists and track record holders, representing Poland, please welcome Natalia Druzik, Marcin Makanek. Track record will be presented by the representative of the white shirt, Mr. Lars Rusten.
Perfect race.
Ja, zo wie het kan.
It's new. But also, you can your track record. Congratulations. Racing. Congratulations. Congratulations. Very good.
Team Poland. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup medalists for the mixed relay race. Please stay tuned for the overall winners. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the trophy ceremony for the ISU World Cup Mixed Relay Overall. In third place, Team Austria. Trophy is presented by ISU representative, Mr. Albert Hasselhoff.
This is a trophy. First one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Even mijn film
Team Austria. In second place, it is Team Poland.
This is it. It's quite heavy. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Team Poland. And in first place, Team Germany.
This is the heavy first one.
Thank you.
You are. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh yes.
Team Germany. Congratulations to the ISU World Cup winners for the overall mixed relay.
Quick in-house interview for you two.
Thank you so